Hello viewers, welcome to UNIX College. Today we are going to discuss about a new topic that is known as file management in UNIX. In this slide, which is gives some fundamental idea about how to make a outline about this topic that is known as file management in UNIX. Here we are going to discuss about what is the introduction of this topic and what are the basic types of files is used in our UNIX programming part, then how to listing some files, then meta characters and some hidden files concept. Then we are learning what are the different standard UNIX streams we have in our UNIX shell programming. Next we are going to discuss about what is the real use of that file management system in our UNIX shell programming. Here all data in UNIX is organized into files and all files are organized into directories, and all these directories are organized into a tree like structure that is called as a file system. That means all data in UNIX is organized into files. We know that means whenever user want to design a file management system, we need to create more than one files. That files may be your text file, document file, image file, video file, audio file, anything else. We have more than one files, and that files must be organized, must be properly well structured through that UNIX part. But that files must be stored in our specific directories, and that directories is also known as folder. And whenever we can store this type of files in a specific directory, we also need to organize that type of directories in our UNIX management system. Now we can focus on slide. Here also were discussed here, these directories are organized into tree like structure. We know that whenever we have more than one directories, that directories must be represented through a tree like structure, and that tree like structure looks like a file system. In that file system where gives some fundamental idea about some related information or some unrelated information. Here only we are mentioning some related information in that system, which is represented through tree like structure. When you work with UNIX one way or another, you spend most of your time working with files. We know that we have lots of criteria in that UNIX system. That means a user want to work with that UNIX one way or another way. We have the different ways to work with that file in our UNIX system, but there is need to spend most of your time working with that files, because whenever user can create that file, and that file must be created, must be easily managed, must be easily copied from one source to another source. Different ways we can make it a specific way of processing. Next we are going to discuss about that is known as what are the basic types of file in UNIX system. And before going to discuss about this part, we already known about it. We have different type of files which is already discussed in the previous slides. We have more than one file structures in our computer system. That may be a text file, that may be an image file, that may be an animated file, that may be a graphics file, that may be some different types of document file, text file, and lots of files we have in our computer system. But that type of files must need to be organized in a proper way, and whenever it is organized in proper way, we need to make it some structure, and that structure may be possible through the help of that is known as a directory system. Otherwise you can take the help of some other criteria, other management techniques which is already available in our programming part, which is already discussed in our previous section. Now we are going to discuss about what are the different type of file structures and what are the different type of files we have in this slide. In this UNIX system we have three basic type of files. First file named as ordinary files, directories, and some special files. Then what is the real meaning of that ordinary files? Here an ordinary file is a file on the system that contains data or text or program instructions. In this tutorial we have some techniques we are discussed in that ordinary files. That means user need to create a file, and that file contains some text, only text. There is no any image, there is no any audio video files available in that file. It is not an ordinary file. Ordinary file means only denoted as a text. That may be a text file, that may be a document file, means only to contain some text relevant information in that file, which is known as the ordinary file. Now we can focus on the slide. Next type of file we have discussed here, that is known as directories. What is the use of the directories? Here the directories store both special and ordinary files. For users familiar with Windows or Mac operating system, and Unix directories are equivalent to folders. That means we need to make some organized structure for our file management part, means our ordinary files, which is stored in a special way of treatment, that is known as directories. In that directories we can store some files, that file may be some equivalent to our processing part, or which is not equivalent with our system. That means this type of files must be stored in an organized way, and that organized way of representation is structured through that directories, and that directories must be represented in different ways. That may be your in a Windows system it can be created through different way, in a Mac operating system it can be manipulated in different structure, and but in Unix directories, which is our most equivalent to our folder structures. In this section, next part, that is known as a special files. What is the use of that special files? Here some special files provided access to hardware, such as just we can say hard drives, means hard disks, CD-ROM drives, modems, Ethernet adapters. That means in a special files can be located in our different sections of a computer part, that is known as your hardware related informations through hard disks, CD-ROM drives, modem, Ethernet adapters. That means a user want to collect some information through modem, from your hard disks, from a CD-ROM. In that time, this type of related file system is something different. That's why we need to make it some different structure, and that structure is known as some special type of files, and that files may be collected through adapters, which is already discussed in this slide. Now we can focus on the slide. Here already we have discussed Ethernet adapter. That means that Ethernet adapter can also provide some relevant file structures from the source to destination, which is cached through our computer system. Then we have other special files similar to alias or shortcuts, and enable you to access a single file using different names. That means in the special files we may organize some relevant informations or relevant files which is contain some techniques, that may be your aliases. Aliases means some copyright or duplicate of a specific file, or any shortcut files we can also organize in that special files, then enable you to access a single file using different names. That means we may copy that same file more than one times, but we have different name structure in that Unix system, which is related to our Unix file. That's why these are the three basic types of files which are managed in our Unix operating system. Most probably sometimes we are more going to working on that files like your ordinary files or our directories. This two structure is the most important part in our Unix system, because we know that we have more than one text relevant information, but rare we have some image relevant information. Still you need to work through your different external sources like your modem source, like your adapter, means Ethernet adapter source. In that moment you need to prefer, that is known as a special file system. In this way we can properly organize, properly maintain some informations in our basic file structure. Now we can focus on a slide. Next we are going to discuss about what is the different techniques we have to listing our files. Here, to list the files and directories stored in the current directory, use following commands. We know that whenever user want to access their files from their directories, in that moment we need to command, because we know that your Unix somehow related to a DIX operating system. Whenever user want to access their files, their documents in our DIX operating system, we have different commands we are using. If a user want to display some directories in that drive, that may be C drive, maybe a D drive, maybe your E drive, maybe your F drive, number of drives we have in a computer system. In that moment user only use that command like dir in a DIX operating system. But here we in a Unix system, you know that is a $sign, it is known as a Unix prompt. We can say it is known as a Unix prompt. then we write the Unix prompt, then we can write the command like ls. That ls command can show the different list of files which is available in our programming part, means our computer system in that drive. Here the sample output of the above command like ls means bin host lib res.03 ch07 sw1. It is known as the information. In that file we have a ch.bak means backup file, and different normal file structures which is displayed after the pressing that command like ls. Whenever user use the command ls supports the -l option, which would help you to get more information about some listed files. We know that whenever user have more than one file structures in it, in that time we need to make a structure, because whenever user invoke that ls command contains some document file, some image file, some other relevant informations in that drive, but that drive only to display the name, but we are never getting some details about that file. Its details means when it is created, in which day it is created, or in which time it is designed, and this kind of information is not getting whenever user can invoke that ls command. But here that ls command use one option which is already displayed in your slide here, like your -l. Whenever user write that -l option in that structure when making a enter, then we are getting some files with details, means suppose that file may be your amro, and the file name, that is a UML file name, and its details in which time, which day, which month, and where is the file is available, and that file is present in which mode, that is the writing mode, reading mode, or read or write mode. Different informations can collect through that -l option. Then we are going to learning some brief description about that listing of files. Here is the information about all the listed columns, like your first column. In that first column, which represents the file type and the permission given on the file, here the below description about all type of files are explained it, because you know that the first column only gives us some fundamental idea about files and its permission. That means the file getting which type of permission, read write, or only writing mode, or any other permission. It is strictly means not editable format, or any format are getting through that first column. In a second column, we are going to represent the number of memory blocks which is taken by the file or directory, in which area your file is available, which is represented in your second column in your listing of your file structure. In a third column, we are getting some information about in which way your Unix part is represents the owner of the file, and this is the Unix user who created the file. In your third column, we are getting which portion, means in which user administrator is created that file, and its owner name is represented in your third column. In a fourth column is only represents the group of owner, and here the every Unix user will have an associated groups which is present in a fourth column. In a fifth column, which represents the file size in bytes, and a sixth column represents the date and the time when this file was created or modified for the last time, which is represented in your sixth column. That means when your file is being edited or manipulated in your system, it is represented in a sixth column. But in a seventh column is only represents the file or the directory name, nothing else, which is represented in a seventh column structure. So these are some few information which is used in our listing of files whenever user can take the option like your -l option. In that -l options give some fundamental idea about that files which is represented, which is organized in these 7th columns, first to 7th columns, which is already discussed in this slide. Next we are going to discuss about what are the different use of that commands in our listing of files. Here in this ls-l listing example, every file line begins with a D. D is known as one command or one option, then hyphen, what is the use of that hyphen, or a L, what is the use of that L option. This character is represented in that area. Here this hyphen generally represents a regular file such as an ASCII text file, that may be a binary executable file or any hard link which is represented through hyphen. And that B command or B option is generally used as a block special file. Means that block special file helps to make a block that may be an input or output device file such as a physical hard drive. In that physical hard drive must be represented through, that is known as a block, means one option that is known as B. And the C is another option which is specially represented through character special file, and here that C option is generally used as a raw input or output device file such as a physical hard drive. That means that C is the option which is represented as a physical hard drive. In that physical hard drive specially explained in different character specials, that's why it is written as C. But in the D is another option which is denoted as directory file, which contains a listing of other files and directories in that D option. That is means whenever user can use that D option, it can gives brief idea about that directories, nothing else. And they are using that L. That L is specially symbolically denoted as the link file option, and means that links and on any regular files through that L option. Then we are using that P, and that here P option specially named as a pipe, that means a mechanism for inter-process communications, which is denoted as an option like a P option. And that P option is special options which can make some inter-process communication in our computer system. We know that means user want to make some inter-process communication, which is already discussed in our previous sections of a Java programming language. We have more than one threads, means more than one processes, and this type of processes may be communicated from each other, means one process may be communicated with the next process, and that next process may be communicated with the third process. In this way we are making more coordination between the number of processes, that is known as the inter-process communication. In that Unix system also we can getting some information about that inter-process communication by using that command like your P command, which gives some information about your inter-process communication. Next we are going to discuss about what is the use of that option that is known as the S option. Now we can focus on the slide. Here that S is another option which gives some fundamental idea about what is the use of that socket. The socket used for inter-process communication. That means especially you know that here inter-process communication is only possible whenever user can take the help of that option like your S option. Here S option helps us to collect some information about your one process to another process through that S command. That S command gives some fundamental idea about some inter-process communication in our Unix operating system. Next we are going to discuss about what is the real use of that meta characters in our Unix operating system through our file management process. Here the meta characters have a special meaning in Unix. For example, that like your star means asterisk, then your question mark symbol are known as the meta characters. Here we use asterisk or we can say star to match 0 or more characters. Means we know that in our DIX operating systems we are already using that star. Star is denoted as all, means it can compare with each and every type of files. That's why it should be matched to 0 or more characters. Then you are using a question mark. Here question mark specially matches with a single character, is never matches with a multi-character in a system. That's why you are using that question mark symbol. Here that question mark symbol only denoted as a single character, and that asterisk is denoted as a more than one characters in our file system, which is already discussed through that example. Here we are using like Unix prompt $, then you are using that listing command ls, then you are typing your ch. C is known as the first two character of a file. Star, star means I have no idea about what are the next part of that ch. That means this section, this command is a type, which type of file means document file, .docx file. .doc file helps to retrieve some document relevant files which is contain the first two character known as ch. All ch relevant files must be retrieved through that ch star .doc command. Next we are going to display like your how to display this type of files. Here that displays all the files, means the names of which you can going to start with ch and end with .doc. That means we are getting some information about ch means ch01-1.doc. That means all files which is starting from two character c and h, these relevant character files must be displayed in our monitor, which is denoted as ch01, ch010, ch02, then ch03-2, then ch04-1, blah blah blah. Number of related files or document files must be retrieved in our UNIX system. Next we are learning here a star works as meta character and which matches with any character. If you want to display all the files ending with just .doc, then you can use the following command like your $ls.doc. In this way we can easily organize or retrieve from our file management system in our UNIX operating system. These are some fundamental idea about our meta characters which are specially used in UNIX management system, and that meta characters must be represented through two type of symbol like your asterisk means star and question mark symbol. Next we are going to discuss about what are the different hidden file structures we have here. That means an invisible file is known as a hidden files which is present in our system, still it is not visible to each and every one. That means an invisible file is one, the first character of which is the dot or the period of character like a dot. The UNIX program means including the cell use most of these files to store some configuration information, and some common examples of that hidden files include the file structures here. Dot profile, here that dot profile means the brownish cell means sh file which is initialization script. Then you are using .kshrc means the corn cell file which is symbolically denoted as the ksh which is known as initialization script. Then you are using .cshrc means the c cell file which is generally denoted as csh which is the initialization script. Then you are using .rh means rhost, or we can say .rhosts, rhost means here that structure is represented as a remote cell configuration file. So in this way we are already discussed about some hidden files which is present in our system, still it is not visible to each and every one, but it is behind that your program or behind your file it is still working, but it is not visible to number of users, which is already discussed in that example here. To list the invisible files through that specify like your -a command, means it is known as a -a is known as option which is used in our ls listing command. That means we can write here UNIX prompt like your $sign, then we write here ls, then we type here -a. That -a gives some invisible file which is present in our UNIX system, and that invisible file must be extracted in our programming part. Here we have a dot space dot profile docs liv text result, then double dot space dot rhost host pov user, then dot em max bin. Here in this slide already I discussed that is known as a dot kshrc which is represented as a conf cell, and it is some type of files which is represented as ch07.bak. bak means is a backup file which is present in our UNIX system. And here is a most important part like your single dot and double dot which is explained in this two section. Here that single dot represented as a current directory section or current directory part in our UNIX system, and the double dot which represents the parent directory of our system. That means this is related to our parent directory, this is related to our current directory. So in this way we are representing our file management parts or directory management parts in our Unix operating system. The most important part, like we need to make a specific organization structure in our Unix management part, and in this section already I discussed here how to manage our hidden files, and that hidden files must be retrieved through a specific options like your -a. That option must be used with a listing command like your ls part. In this way we can specially organized or specially retrieved in our Unix management system. Okay, thank you, have a nice day.